Hello there. This is a video to help you learn what I call your buddy notes. And your buddy notes are the notes just under your marked courses. And the reason that these are important is that those are your half-step relationships on your dulcimer, and they're very regular. So the dulcimer is just a repeating set of whole steps and half steps because it's just major scales. And all of the half steps are located directly under your marked course. So for example, from my A to my B is a whole step, B to C sharp is a whole step, but C sharp to D is a half step. Moving on, D to E is a whole step, E to F sharp is a whole step, F sharp to G sharp is a whole step, but again, right underneath the next marked course is a half step, G sharp to A. So this is helpful when you are learning your marked courses, for you to also learn your buddy notes, because that helps when you are looking at a piece of music and looking at the key signature. For example, if it's something with 0 sharps, you're probably not going to be down in this area because this is where most of your sharps are. If it's something with 3 sharps, you're probably not going to mostly be playing up in this area, as this is where your natural half steps are. So again, if you haven't learned your marked courses yet, excuse me, go back to the video on my YouTube page for learning the marked courses. So as a quick review, for the larger dulcimers with 5 marked courses per bridge, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the sentence is eventually all dulcimers get cold feet burr flat. So we're going to build off of that. Now, one thing I want you to realize, and I might have talked about this in the other video, I can't remember, is that if you lay your hammers across on a diagonal, or just your elbow gently without leaning on the bridge, if you put that down across your G's, all of your regular sharps are below your hand. Now, by regular sharps, I mean sharps within the keys that are in our dulcimer laid out very easily. So for example, I have an extra G sharp and a B flat up here. I have a D flat and an E flat up here. Those are not within my key necessarily. Those are just extra sharps on my instrument. So we're talking about the regular keys here. So if we look below this G line, I call it my G breaking point, G breaking line. All of my sharps are located underneath that line. All right. One of the other things we did in the other video is we looked at the layout of keys. We have 0 sharps here with the key of C, 1 sharp with the key of G, 2 sharps with the key of D, 3 sharps with the key of A, then going to our 1 flat, and a flat is not a sharp, right? I mean, it is an enharmonic equivalent, but we're in the key of F, and that has F, G, A, B flat, not A sharp, right? F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. So all of the sharps I'm discussing are underneath our arm still. And then again, we come to this key of C, 0 sharps, key of G, 1 sharp, key of D, 2 sharps. Okay, so you should be very comfortable with your marked courses. You should be able to go up and down them easily, naming them. It's not enough just to play them. That's just waving your hands around. You have to be able to name them easily, forward and backward. Now, once we have those marked courses, we just have to think backward. So for example, what is underneath E in the alphabet, or before the letter E in the alphabet? It's a D, so there's going to be a D sharp below my E. What is just before the letter A in the musical alphabet? It's going to be a G, so the G sharp is just below the A. Same thing, what is just before a D in the musical alphabet? A C, so we have a C sharp below the D. What's just below a G or before a G in the musical alphabet? An F, so we have an F sharp there. Then from there on, now we cross into natural half steps, which on the piano are the 2 places where you have white keys next to each other with no black key in between. And an easy way for you to remember these natural half steps is the mnemonic big cats eat fish. We have B, C, big cats, and EF, eat fish. Big cats eat fish. So those are your two natural half steps, and all the rest are created by a sharp or a flat, mostly sharps in our instrument's case. So using that pattern of the marked courses that we talked about a moment ago, we're going to start on the E in the lower corner. Remember, that's our first corner. This is for the larger dulcimers. And we're going to be very specific in our speech. So we're going to say these notes out loud, and it might be helpful to think about, again, what is before each marked course. So before we have an E, just before it is a D in the musical alphabet, before an A is the G, so on and so forth. But when we're naming these half steps, we need to be incredibly careful in our speech. And we need to call a sharp when it is a sharp. So for example, if we say this is D and this is E, that would be incorrect because D is this note and this is D sharp. So you can clearly hear those are different notes. So we need to be very specific in our speech. So again, starting just before our first marked course is the D sharp E, so we just go one below the marked course. We have D sharp to E, and this is on the larger dulcimers with the 5 marked courses. I'll get to the smaller ones in just a moment. So D sharp E, say it with me and play it with me. D sharp E. And then you go to the next 2 notes in the corner, the A's, but instead of playing them, you drag your hands back one. What is before the A in the musical alphabet? The G. So these are G sharps. So we have G sharp, A. Let's do that again, just that first corner. We have D sharp, E, say it and play it. And then G sharp, A. Then we slide to the right and we have our nothing below this D, this bass note, but below the left hand D, we have a C sharp, so we'll play C sharp and then play both Ds. And then we'll go to the higher octave and play both C sharps to both Ds. So let's do that again. Now, people with the smaller instruments, when we play our G sharp A, you can join in there. For example, doing G sharp A and then slide across to your C sharp D. And then we'll all be in place to go to our G's. So the larger instruments start down here. Say it with me. What is below the marked course E? We have the D sharp. Make sure to say D sharp. Here we go. D sharp E. Moving across the bridge to G sharp A. Sliding to the right, we don't have anything below our right hand, but below the left hand we have C sharp D. Here's both Ds. And then going up to the upper octave, the C sharp D. And everyone should be at this point now. All right, now we're going to all drift over to the bass. G's are next. So we have the G's, we move down one. What is before G in the musical alphabet? F. So we have our F sharps here. F sharp, G, then the higher octave, F sharp, G. All right, let's do just that much again. So take a moment, you can pause the video, take a second, do it on your own, but make sure you are always saying them out loud. If you are just doing this, you're actually just waving your hands around. You're not really learning anything. So if you want to learn, remember the difference between shallow learning and deep learning. So pause the video, or we can do it one more time together, starting on our D sharp E for our larger instruments. D sharp E, saying and playing. D sharp E. Here's where the smaller instruments can join with the G sharp A. And sliding across the bridge. For the larger instruments, we have C sharp D, and smaller instruments, here we go, C sharp D. Then sliding across. Here we are on our F sharp G. Higher octave, F sharp G. So at this point, now we are about to cross that G breaking line. Now we're in the natural half steps. So remember, the easy way to learn that is big cats eat fish. Big cats eat fish. And that's BC, big cats, EF, eat fish. And those natural half steps, again, are those two places on the piano where there is no black key in between a white key. There is simply two white keys side by side. So those are the natural half steps. So we are on the first one right now, our B, C. And the higher octave, B, C. And then sliding to the right, we have we're back in the corner now, the upper corner, E, F, eat fish. And now we're on our one flat, our A, B flat. So let's do that again, starting with the D sharp E in the first corner. Smaller instruments can just wait just a moment till we get to the G sharp A. So here we go. Say it and play it. D sharp E. Slide across the bridge. G sharp A. Slide across the bridge. The right hand doesn't play for just a moment. Left hand plays the C sharp, then the D, both hands, and then both hands again. C sharps, you have two of them, to the Ds, then you move over to our F sharp Gs, F sharp G, F sharp G. Now we've crossed the G breaking line and we have our big cats, B, C, B, C, and then again sliding across, eat fish, E, F, and then we're back in the corner at that point. We finish it with the A, B flat. Now, if you'd like to come backward, once you're really comfortable going up, practice coming backward. So when we come backward, we're going to come down in pitch rather than going up. So now we have B flat A. Remember, we start in this upper corner, B flat A, then we go to the left, and what do we have here? We have our Fs. So we have F, E, and we slide to the left. We have our C, B. Then we play the lower octave. Let's just do that much again, starting with their B flat A. Here we go. Say it and play it. B flat A, F, E. Slide to the left. What is this upper marked course? Think about it for a moment. C and underneath B, C, B. Coming down the octave, we slide to the left. What is this marked course? G. So now we have G, F sharp. Now we're out of our natural half steps. G, F sharp, G, F sharp. We slide over and we have D, C sharp. Come to the lower octave, D, C sharp. Right hand doesn't do anything for that low C sharp. You don't have one. Slide to the left. We have A, G sharp. We're back in the corner right now. And then we finish the corner with the E, D sharp. So again, the big thing to remember here is when you cross this G breaking line, that's when you cross out of your sharps and into your natural half steps. So take a bit, learn that. You can also remember that you can fold a piece of paper into quarters. Remember, you fold it into half and then fold it again. You draw your bridges on it, and then you draw your marked courses on it. You can either name those marked courses or you can name the buddy notes. So for example, drawing in D sharp underneath that marked course and then E on that marked course. Or for those of you with the smaller instruments, you would start by writing G sharp underneath your lowest marked course, and then on that marked course writing A. So you can write in the buddy notes. You could just write in the half steps. So for example, the D sharp, thinking the D sharp to the E, that's what makes it a half step. The D sharp is just a note. it's this relationship to the marked course that makes it a half step, okay? So you could just write in the note just below each marked course. So D sharp, G sharp, C sharp, F sharp, B, E, A. All right? So learn it forward and back. I hope this video has been helpful.